I'd like to show you today CITS on the road from an OEM perspective. I'm Jannis Fritz, and I'm working at VW in the V2X services development. And I'd like to start with our motivation to deploy V2X or also CITS. Okay, this shouldn't happen. Just give me a sec, I will turn it off. Okay. So if we look into connected services, we have mainly two options. It's first the backend communication, so you're communicating via some backends and service providers, or you're communicating direct between some participants. And both of these technologies have advantages and disadvantages. If you're looking into backend communication, it's mostly have its advantage in the aggregation of data and also in its high data rates. And it's really good for online apps and map updates and so on. We have also some use cases where both technologies fit quite well. It's like accident, traffic jams, so mainly traffic information services like weather and roadworks warning. But when it comes to time-critical use cases, we really see that direct communication is necessary because we really need low latency in these use cases. It's like emergency braking, emergency vehicle warnings, and so on and so on. And also, post-crash warnings. If we want the following traffic directly after a crash, for example. So for us, direct communication only fulfills the hard latency and quality requirements of the cooperative safety, and it's today the only technology that is permanently and free available. And that's the reason why we have deployed V2X in 2019 with the Golf 8. In 2019, the Golf 8 started with the local hazard warning 1.0, where we had mostly the focus on vehicle-to-vehicle communication. We deployed some use cases like stationary vehicle, accident, critical situation, which it's like emergency braking, also a warning for the end of traffic jam, also an infrastructure to vehicle use case, roadworks warning, which is today on the road in Germany with the Autobahn GmbH, and we will later hear something about this. And also, a vehicle to special vehicle use case, the emergency vehicle, with on the one hand safeguarding emergency vehicle and also the approaching emergency vehicle. After the Golf 8, also the ID family joined, and some further brands like Cupra and VW commercial vehicles also joined this ecosystem based on ITSG5. Last year, in 2023, the ID7 launched with a second generation of local hazard warning. And I will later show what kind of use cases are new. There we had the focus on hazardous location notifications and infrastructure to vehicle use cases. And since this year, also the Tiguan and Passat are now equipped with V2X and will accelerate the growth of the ecosystem. So today we have over 1.3 million vehicles in 31 countries in Europe, and our numbers are growing. But let's have a look into the features. One feature I already mentioned is the roadworks warning. If roadworks trailers are equipped with V2X, they can send messages to our vehicles. And yeah, therefore we can warn the driver of unexpected situations for mainly short-term roadworks, and also yeah, guarantee the safety of the road workers. We have some yeah, specification under which conditions the vehicle show notifications to the driver, and one of these are the activation speed on the receiving side, which is currently above 80 kilometers per hour. Another feature I'd like to show you is the dynamic emergency vehicle warning, which can warn our drivers when an emergency vehicle approaches, and then the driver can react in time. So, for example, if you have a traffic jam, the driver can, yeah, make some space for rescue lane. And we have no activation speed on the receiving side, and this use case is also possible in urban areas. Furthermore, you get these nice little arrow to indicate from which direction the emergency vehicle is approaching, and also a distance estimation. And as I already mentioned, with the ID.7, we launched new infrastructure to vehicle use cases, and these are also available in all new ID models. We have implemented some warnings for persons, animal, and obstacles on the road, for adverse weather warnings like strong wind, visual obstruction, and slippery road, and also for some traffic events like one-way driver, traffic jam, broken down vehicles, accidents, etc. And we already heard something about profiles and the importance of these. Based on these profiles, the ASFINAG in Austria already implemented these use cases. And last year, we were able to test it in Austria. And since they already had it implemented based on these profiles, we had immediately success in our testings and had no problems. It worked at the first try. And I think this is a great success. That this is now already in operation in Austria. Yeah, we already talked about interoperability, and interoperability goes hand in hand with trust. And this is the basis of cooperative driving. Therefore, we are operating a public key infrastructure where we issue certificates for every of our series vehicles. The signature of the messages with certificates and the security requirements for our stations ensure trust in the exchange with different operators. So operators, the infrastructure operators also need to sign their messages and need to be on our trust list so that we really accept their messages. And infrastructure operators can apply for the enrollment of their own PKI at the following email address. The other part in this open ecosystem is the standardization and profiling of the messages. And we already heard about something about the car-to-car and C-roads, and the standardization and the profiling of these messages enable, as I already said, the Europe-wide interoperability with various stakeholders and are really important for our use cases. And currently, we are in bilateral trust with all our external stakeholders and external PKIs. But in the future, we also see here a migration or integration into the European trust list to really get a European trusted open ecosystem. And I'd like to show you, shortly what we already achieved. So with our bilateral trust, we enable CITS use cases already today across Europe in Denmark, Germany, Austria, and also in Italy. And with not only with highway infrastructure operators, but also with fire brigades, police cars, ADAC, and the Austrian Red Cross, for example. And there are also additional infrastructure operators currently in process. So, thank you.